Short from Florida fell in love with a man that she met on ChristianMingle.com. Unfortunately, she never met the man in person, and he also scammed her out of $185,000.
In fact, short some money. Huh?
She is short some money. You're terrible. This is a devastating story. She's 71 years old. Again, she met him on ChristianMingle.com. And he kept asking for pricey gadgets, and she kept buying them for him. And then she was warned by her son that she's going to be the victim of fraud or scam, or she's going to be scammed. And she just didn't buy it. And then finally, she sold her home in order to get her hands on the $185,000, the only money she had. And she gave it to the scammer. And now she's being, her story is being used as a campaign to raise awareness about fraud online, specifically in Florida. And I feel so bad for her. She says, I'm a trusting person. It takes a lot for me to see that someone could hurt somebody at my age. Well, welcome to the real world.
So the guy said to her that he'd buy her a gold ring with her name spelled out in diamonds, that he was in love with her.
I'm literally going to cry right now.
Okay, her family was like, no, he's scamming you. And she's like, oh, so you don't want me to be happy. I found someone who loves me and you're trying to prevent that. I'm paraphrasing a little bit here. And he said, no, in the beginning, he was like, I need you to send this tech stuff, gadgets, but I'm going to send it to underprivileged kids. Don't let your family stop me from helping the underprivileged kids. And then he had to pay a hospital bill in Panama. See, they don't just go to that right away. They lure you in and they talk about how much they love you, and you build this relationship and this relationship of trust. And that, like these scammers, the first thing they do is like, wait, you trust me, don't you? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, by the way, I'm sorry for making this weirdly political, but Ted Cruz does similar things. Like, I mean, like, you trust me, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm not going to do anything bad. Let's come a little further, come a little further. And then finally, after he's got her completely on the hook, he says, okay, sell your house, give me the $185,000, and she does it. Now she's out in the street, and she's trying to find a job.
My heart hurts for her.
Yeah.
Look, I remember that crowdfunding page that was set up for Memories Pizza because they wanted to discriminate against gay people. For the love of God, let's help Catherine Short in some way. Like, I know some of you might think, like, oh, she's stupid. Why did she fall for it? She was even warned by her own son. You don't know what people will do when they're lonely and they're seeking companionship, when they have pretty much nothing, right? Like, it sounds like she has a family, but that need for companionship is so significant. And when you're at that age, it becomes really difficult to find that. That's like my biggest fear in life. I think that's the reason why this story like really touches me in the worst ways, I guess. Just ending up elderly and alone and looking for companionship and not being able to find it, and to get scammed like this. Like, what a sick person.
Yeah, and of course they think, oh, I'm going to look for suckers. Where should I go? ChristianMingle.com, right?
I mean, anyone who's on any dating site could be a victim of something like this.
And it's not just because, hey, they're Christian, they're more gullible. No, it's people looking for love, right? Yeah. And especially when they're at their most vulnerable, as Anna points out, and as they're getting on in their years, and they're looking for some sort of companionship to keep them, warm and the loving embrace that they're looking for. Somebody says, yes, that's the time to take advantage. Really, I mean, among the worst people on earth, right? So unfortunately, the money's gone. Authorities try to find it in the wind. It's already gone, okay? So be careful. And what's so terrible, the last thing that's terrible about this, other than the damage it does to her and people like her, is that it makes us all question one another. And so when you're on Christian Mingle or any other website, and now you all have to wonder, wait, is it real or are they playing me?
Right.
And that doubt that they introduce into all of us, and that skepticism and lack of trust, it breaks the bonds of humanity. And so it does more damage than just the people that it affects.